What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Marty coming to you with another video. Here to talk about the newly highly anticipated sequel to Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Now, as you all know, last year we tragically lost our Black Panther, our king, Chadwick Boseman. And so everyone wondered how they will go forward. I really loved this movie. I think I only had like a couple of nitpicks, but other than that, this movie was so beautiful. And honestly, Ryan Coogler had a big task to do with this one. A nitpick I had on mine is that in some of the night scenes, you can't really see a thing. Like it's almost like pitch black. It's very reminiscent of like the finale of T'Challa versus Killmonger in the end of the first Black Panther, where it almost looks like a video game. There were some scenes in here that looked the same, very noticeable, but it didn't take me out of it. Two plots that I think were a little bit unnecessary, but still integral to the plot, but I still enjoyed, was the plot with Ironheart and also Agent Ross. With Agent Ross, his scenes were kind of just showing us that they're an ally, and also to continue something further into the MCU. We find out that Val was actually married to Agent Ross. And so Val obviously is up to no good. She's over here setting up the Thunderbolts. And, she has a little sneaky assumption of Agent Ross being allies with Wakanda, but she has her own motives. Like I said, give or take, it was unnecessary. You definitely could have cut that out and trimmed some of the fat from this movie, but I still enjoyed those scenes. I love Martin Freeman. And the Val character, I mean, she's kind of annoying, but yeah, I was truly shocked when I found out that she was married to him. The other one being Ironheart was that she actually made a device that summons Namor. And so basically the Namor, FBI and basically everyone in the world is after Ironheart because, she made this device that could detect vibranium in the water. So, you would think that, the FBI or, people would be after her, but not really. The people that go after her to like protect her is Okoye and Shuri, in Wakanda. They easily could have done something else rather than Ironheart, that to bring out Namor, like someone from the United Nations who this movie kind of, circles around. But I mean, I understand they wanted to bring her and introduce her into the MCU and show us fans, because obviously she does have Disney Plus series Ironheart, which should be coming out soon. And so, like I said, it is to further expand the MCU by introducing this character. The actor who played her, I found her very charismatic, and yeah, had no issues with her, what she brought to the screen and what she brought to this character. Now, there are three things that I truly loved about this movie. Number one being the actor Tanakh, I forgot his last name, but him playing Namor, oh my god, like I loved every scene he was in. He just honestly brought it. His character, the origin. Man, even his accent, just how the actor played this character and how he brought Namor to life. Like, it couldn't have been done more perfectly. Like, I truly love the presence that Namor brought every time he was on screen, and how powerful and engaging and, this leader is. And when we got to see the world of the Talocan, underwater, like, it was just amazing. Everything about Namor and his people, his culture, everything was done beautifully, and it was brought to life so amazing. Number two, the Queen Angela Bassett. Oh my god, what a powerful performance she gave, man. I swear, she better be nominated for Best Actress, because she performed the shit out of this role. I mean, she had so much to do. Obviously, now with T'Challa being gone in the MCU, she had to step up and take over of that leader role. And it showed in that first scene that she was in, talking to the United Nations. Like, oh my god, there's just a sense of power, of fear into these people, into the United Nations that I felt. she just brought it. I didn't say this is a spoiler review, but this is a spoiler review. And when she died, I was truly heartbroken because she is a force of nature. The third thing I really love was Shuri. What can I say? She just had a beautiful arc in this one. Obviously, she's dealing with loss. Well, everyone is dealing with loss in this movie. Obviously, they lost their king, they lost their love, they lost their brother, they lost their best friend, they lost their leader. But no one felt it as bad as Shuri did in this one. And Letitia Wright just brought that to screen. She was having trouble coping with losing her brother, and she didn't know how to move on, and she couldn't get over that next step. And then, as I mentioned, from the queen, she tragically passes. So not only does Shuri lose her brother, she loses her mother. And obviously her father was lost in civil war. She lost everyone. But obviously her mother was there trying to help her, trying to keep her in line in this movie, and to lose her, it definitely helped her get over that hump because she finally realized what she had to do, what she needed to do. And what she did was, spoiler alert, she becomes the new Black Panther. A couple things that really, really shocked me was the very beginning of this movie. Obviously, we all know how Chadwick Boseman died. He was, severely ill, and he kept it hidden from everyone. And so they put that in this movie. I was at the edge of my seat. Like, I wanted to go in there and help T'Challa. Like, it's almost kind of bringing me to tears because obviously we all know that he's not making it out. And so yeah, this scene is just Shuri trying to recreate an artificial, I forgot what it's called, herb flower, because if you remember from the last Black Panther, Killmonger destroyed all the herbs. And so this one, she's trying to make an artificial one to give to her brother because, he's dying rapidly. And she's trying and trying. She's asking her AI where his percentage is at. And then out of nowhere, you just see her mom come in and says her brother passed. It was so sad. It was just powerful, that whole scene that played out. It was definitely not one that I expected. Another thing that I didn't think would happen that I was truly shocked was the queen dying. Like I said, she gave an outstanding performance. Every scene that she was in with the United Nations, you felt that. She put her foot down. And when she passed, yeah, I shed a tear when she passed because I did not expect that at all. But honestly, I truly understood it. I understood that they had to do that to get Shuri to get over the hump, to come to terms about what happened and what has to be, and for her character growth. But yeah, I was still shocked and sad that it happened. All the other characters were great too. It was great seeing M'Baku. Even if he had a lesser role in this one, it's always great to see Winston Duke. I love him as an actor. And also Okoye. Okoye was amazing as always. Oh man, that scene that the queen went at Okoye was it was so powerful. I literally got chills when she was yelling. You see a glimpse of it in the trailer when she's like, "I lost everything. Haven't I given you everything?" Something like that. Obviously, that was just very bad. But my God, like she ripped Okoye a new one, and just that scene, like I said, was just so powerful. But other than that, that was more so on the queen. But Okoye was, she was still a badass. I love seeing her. And yeah, like also Nakia. Nakia, she does have a lesser role. She helps out the queen look for Shuri because Shuri gets kidnapped by Namor, which we'll talk in a little bit. I truly loved Namor and Shuri's kind of connection, their dynamic they had with one another, because at the end of the day, they're both the same. They're both dealing with traumatic experiences, and it's what drives them to being these leaders they are for their people. And so you see that you see his motive when he shows Shuri Talokan, and that whole scene is just beautiful. I swear, going underwater and seeing the people, seeing the culture, the score went perfect with what was happening. You can even see Shuri's face blow up. Like it's just a sense of wonder and adventure, and just discovering this new culture. And obviously, at the end, coming to realize that they're not so different after all. An Easter egg that I really loved was when Namor was talking to Shuri about like his motives and his people and whatnot. He mentions that he is a mutant. So when I heard that, I kind of like freaked out, or I geeked out a little bit, because obviously we have no mutants in the MCU, and the only one that we got slightly confirmed, it was in Miss Marvel. I forgot the guy's name, but Miss Marvel's best friend telling her that like her DNA or whatever, there's a mutation. It's mutation. He didn't say you're a mutant, so but this was a confirmation. Namor actually came out and said, I'm a mutant. Also seeing Michael B. Jordan back as Killmonger was badass. Shuri took the artificial herb, and she got that like final ingredient from Namor when after leaving Talokan. Namor gave her a bracelet to remind her of him, his people, and where he comes from. And so she makes the artificial herb out of that, and she expects to see her brother, but she finds Killmonger. And yeah, it was a really emotional and powerful scene. I know I'm saying powerful a lot in this video, but honestly, there was just so many scenes that were powerful. If you would see this movie, you would know what I'm talking about. And if you have seen this movie, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. Killmonger was saying, are you going to be noble like your brother? Or are you going to handle business like me? And by the end of the movie, she does handle her business. So obviously Killmonger did get under her skin, but she's still going to be that person, that noble person T'Challa is, and also like her mother is. Now I'm going to talk about the fight scenes. I also love the scene where Shuri and Okoye went to, I forgot the university. I think it's MIT. But that scene was funny. I haven't even said this, but there were some funny scenes. This movie was more of a sad, emotional, straightforward movie with just a little bit of funny scenes, which was great. But whenever they're in the garage to go, get her stuff so that they can go back to Wakanda, I kind of love. You already know how Ryan Coogler is as a director. He's just fascinating when he's behind the camera. But that whole scene where the cops arrive and they're all trying to panic, and they're all panicking, trying to figure out what to do. Like I love that how that whole shot was a one shot. I just love Ryan Coogler's one shots. And even when they escape, Okoye fights. I believe the character's name is Atuma. Atuma and Nomura are Nomor's Frenchmen, henchmen, and they appear in the movie every now and then, obviously to like try to kidnap Ironheart, and so they do that in this scene. And Okoye versus Atuma was such a great fight. Okoye is a badass, and she could definitely handle her own, and that's when Shuri agrees to be captured by them and to go to the Moor. But yeah, like I said, that fight scene was badass. Ironheart, that was her first mark suit, and by the end of the movie, for the finale, she has her final suit that I believe it shows in the trailers. It looks badass in the movie. I love that suit. I know it's not her last suit. Obviously, Iron Man didn't have just one suit. He kept recreating and recreating new ones. And the final scene, the final end battle, it was pretty cool. Ironheart and Shuri, they came up with the plan to weaken him more by putting him in the ship and basically heating him up, because they came to find out that he gets charged up when he goes into the water. And so they put him on the ship and they heat him up while they're having a war on a ship that Shuri created. Shuri becomes Black Panther. She has a little fight right there on the side of the ship that we see on the trailers, and it's it's badass. and then she heats up Namor, and then they end up fighting on the beach, and it was just amazing. I thought Namor was gonna win that fight, especially when he shanked Shuri, and I thought it was over. I thought it was a wrap. But obviously, she had the will. She had the words from her mother come bring her back to life, and she was able to defeat him. And she is not gonna be like them or like Killmonger and kill no more, because her people need her and his people need him. So they come to form an alliance. Another nitpick that I forgot to mention was in the end. I kind of wish we saw more of Namor versus Black Panther. It kept cutting back to the war on the ship between the Wakandans and the Talokan, but I really wanted to see more of Namor and Shuri. He made the focus on basically everyone. Everyone was dealing with this tragic loss. And one thing that I didn't mention that is not a nitpick. Well, I guess it's a nitpick, but it's an understandable one that I totally and still loved and enjoyed and appreciated, was that you do feel the loss of Chadwick here. You do feel the loss of the character T'Challa. But I mean, everyone has their moments with, especially with amazing performances by Angela Bassett, Shuri, and her beautiful arc. Namor, his introductions to MCU. There's so many good things to love about this. I want to talk about the post-credit scene because, as I said, people wanted to recast T'Challa and some people didn't. But I feel like this is the best way that they could have done. T'Challa and Nakia have a kid. I forgot the name that he gives, but he has a name. And then he says, "You can keep a secret," to Shuri. And she's like, "Yeah, I can." And then he says, "This name is not my real name." And she's like, "Who are you?" And the little kid says, "T'Challa, Prince T'Challa, son of T'Challa." And I cried. I literally teared up. It's just the best thing that they could have done. I feel it was just perfect. You're honoring his legacy, and this is just the best way to go about it. We have a T'Challa in the MCU without having to recast Chadwick. This is how you honor his legacy, by his son taking up the mantle of Black Panther. But that is it. That is my review, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you stayed this long, I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie a 9 out of 10. It is one of the best MCU movies, especially in this phase that has been so inconsistent. I say this movie is probably top 3 of Phase 4 with Spider-Man No Way Home and Shang-Chi. Ryan Coogler did an amazing job. And especially from having to redo the whole movie is just truly a testament to Ryan Coogler's abilities as a director and as a writer. If you guys haven't seen this, I highly recommend y'all do. You will not regret it. I promise you that. And if you have seen it, what did you guys think about it? Like I said, comment below, let me know. I would love to discuss this more with you guys. If I missed something, I would like to talk about it or debate on it. But whatever y'all thought, like I said, comment below, let me know. And if you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe. That would mean an awful lot to me. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.